Entrances. Let me there was quite a few people who wrote this as well. Mike Crawford. The importance of entrance music. Are you looking at me because you had that exact comment?
Yeah.
Okay. I could just tell, just the way you held your face, I knew it. Entrance dancing and sing-along crap is what made me stop watching wrestling a few years ago. Most of my wrestling entertainment has come from Corny's podcast for a long time. Music on run-ins. I'll add the exception to Steve Austin because it was always great when his music came on. Finishers. Going in for the whole match, diving flip moves from the jump. It peaked in the 90s and then he took all the wrong parts from that era and just ran with it. I think it's a great point at the end there as well. But let's not do the choreograph thing. Music on run-ins specifically. What do you say about the Sandman before?
Well, Sandman, but also New Jack. It used to be a big joke, like the music hits and everybody keeps fighting as if the guy's not going to come out with a million weapons and nobody leaves the ring. Sandman on entrances is when he's coming to save you and hits the music, you know, I better survive for about 7 minutes and 44 seconds because the worst best friend the person could have is eventually going to save me and hopefully bring me to the hospital so they can put me in a medically induced coma. Used to be a joke. Now it's not so much. Now I will say Austin's the exception. You know why? Because when the glass broke, he ran to the ring and he started kicking butt. And Liv Morgan's entrance, it comes to the ring and then everything goes to a standstill, right? Or how many times is Michael Cole going to say, he's back, she's back? Like everybody goes away and comes back. That's why Russo calls Hunter the king of pops. That's all you're booking for. Yeah, the entrance, the music on the entrance, the most exciting things I've ever seen have been in the old NWA where the fans are reacting, getting heat on the heels for beating up the babyface. And then someone just slides in out of nowhere. And before you know it, there's a brawl and you're like, who is that? Oh my God, it's him. That's where the excitement comes. This is the inverse. I don't know why and then you get a stadium show, the run-in takes about 30 seconds.
Yeah, that's when they're running.
Yeah.
I was trying to think who was running in the War Games. Who was running in the War Games? Jimmy Uso half ran for half of the entrance. Brock Lesnar walked, but he's Brock Lesnar. I mean, that's fair enough. But man, and it's not just the entrance of the War Games that takes up half of the 3-minute break until the next person comes in. Talk about the choreograph. At any point where you were in WWE up to 2008, did anybody tell you that you had to do a certain pose as soon as you came out and then a completely different pose when you got to the ring?
No, not at all. As a matter of fact, when I was doing the stuff with Victoria and she had left me to go on her own, they never explained it, but I had Coach and Al Snow explain the fact when I came out, I was completely devoid of any emotion, excitement. It was like if you break up with somebody you love and you're just like down in the dumps, you don't do your hair, you're just walking around like a zombie. And I did that for a few weeks to the point where they were asking me in Grill, like, why are you doing that? Well, no, Victoria was with me for a year. Now we're not together. We're kind of broken up. You didn't explain it. So I'm using emotion to say I'm not myself. And also, it gave me a reason to lose matches in a way. I never won them when I was on point, but you know what they said to me? Just get to the ring. Stop doing that. So I didn't stop doing it, but they wanted to take whatever made me stand out. But that was the beginning of no matter what you do, just do your standard entrance, hit your pose, but they never told me, get up there, say, I'll show you, get up there, put your hand up in the air when you're in the second rope. I did that all. They didn't care about me. So it was a freeing thing. But today, or I saw it at the Performance Center, when you come out, hit it here. Then when the bass hits here, we used to make jokes at indie wrestlers that would stand at the curtain going, my bass didn't hit until 40 seconds. And you would just shove them through the curtain. Get out there.
Did it start more with the women first? I seem to remember it did. Because who was the one who would stand out in the audience and then blow a kiss and go, do that all the way around? And I just remember thinking, why are you doing that? Just get to the ring.
Oh, who was that?
Damn it. It's one thing for Batista to do, the machine gun and pyro and everything, because,
Well,
That's
I
a
know,
big thing, and he's a big star.
I know also Sasha Banks, as the NFL on Fox would call her, but Sasha Banks would stand there, do this, and then do the little hip thing.
Uh,
Bailey had the thing with the big used car lot thing. I hit the microphone. Sorry. I'm trying to think of who blew the kiss. It wasn't the Bellas.
I don't know. I feel like it might have been not Candice LeRae, Candice Michelle or someone. I don't know.
Well, Candice Michelle did the timing, and then she would do all eyes on me and open up the robe kind of thing on the apron
Hmm.
and time it to that. But man, the NXT thing really made people just all do that, lockstep, the Archer of Infamy and the boom, 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 up in the air, do this, shoot the arrow. The flames come up on the Titantron. Just too much, man.
Oh man,
Hey,
Archer
but
of
I think
Infamy.
he's like that poor guy, man. Hell, he was world champion. Now what are they doing with him? Nothing.
Yeah, but do you know what I think? Because I don't gravitate towards him. I know people within the business love him, but as a fan watching, there's nothing that's grabbing me. I don't think he's a big personality.
He
I
could
think
have
that's his
been.
biggest problem.
He could have been. He's a giant of a dude, and he can work.
No, I'm talking about like a big charisma guy that you're drawn to. I mean, he's basically a big guy who can work. There's a lot of
True.
big guys who can work.
You got to think about this company too. Vince got a sword for his birthday, by the way, from Triple H and Stephanie. That's Drew McIntyre's sword. So he used to come to the ring with the sword. You're Scott. Hey, you're Scottish. You come to the ring with a sword. And you say, well, I don't know. Yeah, what are you, smart ass? You're a Scottish smart ass. So, but Drew come out and have to do that thing. That's not Drew McIntyre. The Drew McIntyre we've seen since the CM Punk social media trolling. That's the Drew McIntyre that I want to see every week, not the sword stuff. They just get in their own way trying to, like I said last week, you show up, nobody sits down when you says, what did you grow up doing? What are your favorite things? What do you like? What kind of personality you have? They say, oh, we asked ChatGPT who you should be, and this is who you should be. And then when it doesn't work, you either release the wrestler for not getting over, or you finally give in to who they are when it's almost too late.
I want to ask you, who do you think had some entrance? We're not talking about the super elaborate ones like The Undertaker, but who had an entrance that never got old, but they didn't dwell on it too much? Because once again, Jey Uso, they do it for 10 minutes. Roman Reigns, they do it for 10 minutes. Other people just take two. Cody Rhodes, it goes through like a song and a half. So they can go, whoa, like 18 times. Do you know entrance I really liked that seemed really organic, but it got on with it, but was still really striking? Rey Mysterio's when he did the big jump out of the trapdoor. I thought that was great. A famous one, The Brood. Really fantastically visual. They all do their thing. It's really spooky. The music, that's another thing. The music these days sucks compared to what it used to be, unless it's high-end, like in living color.
You have to get real licensed
punk.
music from real bands outside of wrestling to get over. Yeah.
Yeah, exactly. But the other point of those entrances were they lasted about a minute and a half and they got on with it as well. So it's the pure length.
Some of my favorite, I don't know why it always spoke to me as a tag team and singles wrestler, the Hart Foundation and Bret Hart, the music would hit. It had that ramp up pulsing thing, the original one. I don't like the guitar riff one from Bret.
Oh, I love that one.
But
That's
I like the just a boom, 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 and it comes up into that, and they get to the ring, but they have so much energy. And when they get to the ring, where everybody can see them, they emote there to what they do. That's what I really like. Sean had a great entrance. It was there, but a minute and a half, but you had the segments of that where he would do it.
He's the main event star. That's what I'm saying. He should have the big entrance. I don't think 100 people should have 100 vaguely unique versions. It's not even unique, slightly different variations of the exact same entrance where you hit the same beats. You have to do the pose as soon as you come out through the curtain. Then you have to hit the separate pose in the ring. And you may have some weird way of getting in the ring to sort of differentiate slightly.
You know who it's
100 people do it. Say some people should just be Steve Blackman. They should just walk out, get in the ring, and wait for their opponent.
But it does that and hits all the spots and all the poses, but does it at a point where you don't get tired of it, is LA Knight. I think LA Knight is the good mix of He does the thing when he gets there, but that initial when you hear LA Night and the music hits, you get the pop. He comes out walking, looking around. Obviously he mixes The Rock and Austin in his character, so he's amalgamating the best of what he can in the entrance. Rocky's entrance never gets old. I'd still, when it pops up in my feed while I'm doing cardio, when he came out as the final boss, where it went from if you smell like the rock, what the Rock is cooking into the more hard edge heel version, and they did the little 180 around them. I was like, that's perfect. Because you also have to remember too, you have to add poise and presence into the entrance to where people can see that you're relaxed to getting into the ring. You have that confidence. Like when I used to go to the ring with the high energy, I just mentioned that. It felt like a desperate energy attempt to get attention. You know, you have to also say, you people are watching me. I'm not, you're playing to my rhythm. I'm not playing to yours. You got to remember that.
Yeah, but once again, there's a big difference between The Rock, who's a main event megastar, and someone like Lash Legend. It's like if she was given the same thing, and I'm not someone like Jade Cargill should have that kind of entrance. Someone like, I'll mention her again, Lyra Valkyria, someone like that. She shouldn't have that entrance. Or and I'll always forget her name. The chick who's like she's always wears the glasses. She's just come on the main roster.
Oh,
on
Big
SmackDown.
Purse. I don't know her name either. She has the big purse.
I can never remember her name. But anyway.
Well, they're making stars, aren't they?
I've seen her enough times, and I can't remember her name.
She's the one with the purple-haired girl with the braids, right? The dreadlocks.
Yeah, what's her name?
Yep.
They shouldn't get that entrance, is what I'm saying. Like,
Until
100
everybody
people
learns
don't
their
need...
name.
Yeah. Well, yeah, certain people shouldn't get bespoke 5-minute entrances, is what I'm saying. You can have your personality and stuff, but you can tell it's also choreographed.
It's 3-hour shows.
Mm-hmm.
That's why they're getting, if it was 1 hour or 90 minutes, we don't have time for everybody to have a big entrance until the main event. They can't do it because it's all about money. It's all about quarterly. It's all about stock price. It's all about selling the Saudi. But in a creative world, they've all booked themselves into an ad placement corner, into a licensing fee corner. Can't avoid it now. Dude, I have no doubt you can laugh at me, just like when I said SmackDown's going to go to 3 hours. Everybody on Russo's thing laughed at me. These shows are eventually going to go to 4 hours.
Yeah, could be. We've talked about the music. Okay, right, I've heard this recently, and I think this is an AEW attempt to knock WWE or fans knocking fans kind of thing. But it's claimed that WWE people who actually pay for the tickets are there just as much for the entrances as they are for the matches. What say you?
Wow, they're spending a lot of money on entrances. That's what I would say. That's what I would say. He caught me while I was taking a drink and my mic was muted. Sorry. But I would say for a fact, if you are paying $900 for way back, or you're paying $70,000 for entrances, obviously WrestleMania are going to get matches over 2 days. But what were the other SmackDown and Raws? Easily $1,000 or more to watch entrances and 4 matches in 3 hours. You know what you can do? Buy yourself a kick-ass TV, a big surround system, order food, and you'll still come in cheaper than going to the show. And you can have that entrance blaring all you want. You can stomp your foot like Rhea Ripley. You can do whatever you want. You can yeet. You can stand up. You can go up on your kitchen island like you're in the stands and do your yeeting. Do all that stuff.